Thank you, Katie. Katie and I go way back. Actually, we did travel to East Africa the other month, much like Mrs. Chick did. We went to Tanzania with the lovely Mr. Burnett. Hello, Mr. Burnett. We spent a week there, not 6 months, unfortunately, and we are unable to drive, so we did not have a four-wheel. However, we did visit a school. In fact, we split up into two groups and visited two schools simultaneously. During this trip to Tanzania, I felt like I had the absolute best experience of my life. I mean, kids were everywhere. They were adorable. They were wearing these look, it's the flag on their sweaters. They're so cute. And they all wanted to learn, and we taught them so much, and it was amazing. But when I came back, I realized that one word kept popping into my head during this week-long journey. That word was cliche. Because as great as service projects are, as great as service trips to underdeveloped countries are, we seem to think that they're the only form of service. This glorified image of service is good, but it does cause problems. Two major ones, in fact. The first is the kids in these schools seem to be props for Facebook profile pictures, for cover photos, for that new, I don't know, 8th grade service project you wanted to do. And they didn't become human anymore, at least at SAS. Also, these trips made it seem as if the little things, the small acts of service, the random acts of kindness didn't matter as much as they actually do. Not everyone at SAS has the resources, the $4,000 to travel to Africa, or to travel to Sweden, or to go somewhere where they can make a difference that is seen in internet searches and Google web searches, where you're just surrounded by adorable, screaming babies and they all love you. I mean, that's great, and it's amazing, and I've been on those trips. But we seem to forget that everyone can do service. And it's not about the money that you put towards the project. It's not about how many kids that you teach. It's not even about the country that you visit. Well, what less could service be? Service is those huge projects. Service is that trip up the mountain. Service is that trip to Tanzania. But service is also the little things that you do in life. People always say that being in a service community at SAS means being in a club or having traveled to the Philippines or having done something major and huge. But I think that we all need to take a step back and realize that service is, I don't know, cleaning your house when no one else can, throwing away that one plastic bottle or your bubble tea when you're finished, or even giving money to that street performer who works so hard and is actually caring about what they're doing. Service is simply going above and beyond what you need to do. Service is giving someone a smile in a hallway or submitting that one compliment. Every time that I log onto my Facebook and I see a compliment, it makes my entire day. I don't even care about that F on the physics test. I don't even care about that girl talking about my short skirt behind my back. I don't even care about what people say about me because I see a compliment, and I believe that that is service. I believe that kindness is service. Of course, there are levels of service, and we have to take a moment to acknowledge that students in large groups who care about what they do raise $80,000 for help for victims of Typhoon Haiyan, for people who actually take trips to developing countries and who help and do that outstanding level of service. That is amazing, and I think that everyone should have the opportunity to do that. However, we all need to stop and pause and realize that we can't just start at the top. We have to work our way up. We have to acknowledge that we are all gifted with the gift of feeling, of empathy, of knowing that there are people out there with feelings and emotions, and that all you have to do is give them a smile, or give them a little bit of change if they're asking, or even just telling them that they look great today. Because service isn't about the awards. It isn't about all of the organizations that you're associated with. It starts with kindness, and it has to start with kindness. We all think that assisting the elderly or taking those huge projects are where it all starts. But it just starts from that one time that someone looks at you and says hello. From that one time the Tanzanian child says, "Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. It's nice to meet you. What's your name? What grade are you in?" It starts from a conversation with someone that you care about. It's not about the money. It's not about the recognition. It's not about the awards. But it builds up to that, and it has to start with kindness. When Mr. Burnett, Katie, and I were sitting at a breakfast table one morning during our week-long trip to Tanzania, he asked us, what is one thing that you don't want others to know about you? Or what is one thing that no one knows about you? What could you share about that? I said, I don't like being branded with being called the service queen. I think it's strange because I feel that that title should be shared among everyone. I think that everyone has the capability to do service and to be kind and to care and to take action in doing something that they really want to happen. I don't believe that being associated with a club is a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe that service projects, those huge trips, the week-long trips to Africa are bad. I just think that there are things under that everyone is capable of doing. And I think that we need to spend more time acknowledging that. You are all capable of kindness. You are all capable of making the change that you want to change. And we are all capable of making change together. So if you believe that service just isn't your thing, then don't join a service club. Don't think about that college application. But remember that just because you don't choose service doesn't mean that it isn't a part of you. Thank you.